email etiquette. Okay. Now, email is considered business communication. Okay. WhatsApp is friendly communication, unless it's business WhatsApp. Okay. So when somebody sends you an email, especially if you're checking it on your phone, it's very unetiquette-y. What's unetiquette-y? What's the word I'm looking for?
It's not etiquette.
Non-etiquette. To respond with one word like you would in WhatsApp. Okay. So email generally was designed for business, where you would say, dear so-and-so, or hi so-and-so, kind regards, etc., etc. Okay.
That depends if you're not pissed off or not.
Okay, that's true. Now, the older generation that are sitting in this room, I want you to keep quiet for a second, because I'm going to ask you, what does it mean if I type a email in capital letters?
I have no idea. Is that like, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, angry peasant.
What?
Okay, now let me ask the older generation, what does it mean if you type a email in capital letters? You are shouting. Okay. All right. So somewhere along the line, when we were taught emails, because when Pa fell off the bus is when emails came into our lives. Okay. We were told, do not type in capital letters. But there's been a generation that has missed that learning. Okay. And it's actually very interesting to ask youngsters, because one of my learners came to me the other day and said, do you know that if you type in capital letters, you're shouting? I'm like, yep. Sorry. Excuse my cough. Okay.
Can I teach you something about email?
Yes.
Every letter I receive, even put it in the post box. Somebody puts it in the post box. And they sort it in the post office and they bring it to me and put it in my post box.
Yes.
And I open the letter.
Yes.
And read it on
Yes.
a piece of paper.
Yes.
That was email.
Correct.
You know why?
Why?
Ernest no.
I love it. Hi.
Sorry.
Please don't be sorry. We live in Joburg and there's traffic and load shedding and etc. 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 We just started. Okay, so I just want to go through a little bit on Outlook, okay, and the type of things that we're going to be looking at, and I'm going to help Ernest find his sent items, which has been waiting for 3 weeks. Okay. All right, so this is typically what your Outlook would look like when you open an email, okay? You once again have very similar tabs at the top, okay, which is your file home, send and receive. You've got folders, view, help, and I've got Adobe attached to mine, okay, which probably a lot of you don't. All right, so the file option, all right, if we drop that down, once again, it's open and export, all right? I can save something as a PDF, or I can print my email, okay? So that's what the file option does. I can also add another email account. So a lot of people have 3 or 4 or 5 email accounts that they want on their thing, but I think that's a little bit advanced in terms of this. But if we go back, you can see I've got Tracey Bosch at 𝐒𝐫𝐨𝐼𝐶, and then I've got my company, which is Tracey at 𝐒𝐫𝐨𝐼𝐶, and then I've also got it Tracey Bosch 5 at Gmail. Okay, so I don't have to go into my Gmail account to go and get my emails, because they come into my Outlook box and I can manage them nicely from Outlook. Okay, how many of you work offline or online? So do you do all your mails online?
So Gmail.
Or Gmail, okay?
I don't use Gmail much.
But you work with Outlook.
Yeah.
And you?
I don't work with Outlook.
You don't work with Outlook. You work with Outlook?
Yes.
Okay, so you put your Gmail account in Outlook? Okay.
My Gmail's linked to Outlook.
But yeah, it's loaded as, so you can have hundreds and hundreds of emails coming into one inbox, okay? Whereas if you're working on Gmail, you're working generally with one email address. How often do you go into your second one?
3.
Okay. And do you toggle between them?
Yeah, the one is work and one's personal.
Okay, alright. So every morning you'd have to go and open and load your password and go in.
No, it's on my phone. Just open that.
Okay. See, now if you put it in Outlook, it will all be coming to the same place. Okay. Alright. What is your level of computers?
What is my level?
Of computers. Why are you here today? What do you want to know? Is what I'm getting at.
I find Gmail it's an amazing system, but the one thing it's not great with is intuitive use of sorting of mail.
Okay.
The system is, I've seen it, I've done it, I've practiced it, and I still never quite managed to figure out how to send it to the right place and filter it or do whatever.
Okay, perfect. Alright, so you wanting to use Outlook?
No, I want to use Gmail, I just wanted to use it.
Okay. I can teach you. What's your sort of level and why are you here today?
Become more efficient with Outlook. Suppose often you're getting inundated with mails often which aren't even important. So try and optimize, become more efficient.
Managing our mails and sorting it.
Okay. Your first time? No, you've been before. Okay. Odette, I'm with you because obviously I've taught you privately. So I know your level, that's why I didn't ask. Okay. So maybe the last 3 weeks and next week we're doing Microsoft products mainly. Okay.
I didn't realize that, sorry.
No, please don't be sorry. Maybe you can learn something and maybe you would want to actually move over to Outlook because it's actually super efficient with rules and all of that kind of stuff. Okay. Alright, so yes, I could go to my internet and go to my Gmails and I can work very effective from that and that's not a problem. But most of us are on 365 as well. So you can load Outlook onto most devices. So I like to have Outlook on my phone as well. And then all my emails from the various companies are coming to one place. I don't have to go into different sort of areas to look for my emails. Okay. So on the home tab, what we've got here is we've got new mail, we've got new items. Okay, so I can create an email message, I can do an appointment in my Outlook account, I can add a contact, I can add tasks, which is super efficient as well now. And then send and receive is to just check whether you've got mail. So when somebody said to you, I sent you an email, you can sit and push the send and receive button until it comes through. Okay, because that's what we normally do, is that insanity little thing.
Tracey, can I interrupt you?
Yes.
Just go over my screen because I've got another version of email and it's not coming up with so much with you. That's what happened when I pressed new email.
Oh, okay, so you're...
And tell me this.
Okay, so you're working online, alright, in Outlook.
Yeah.
Okay, so you haven't downloaded Outlook onto your computer.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. So there's limited things that you can actually do.
Okay.
But you can view, okay, and with the online, it doesn't, where's your send and receive?
This is the receiving box.
Okay, just drop down this little arrow over here, this little menu.
This one?
Go up a bit more.
This one?
Yeah. There's all your folders.
Yes.
Okay, I've not worked much online with it, but theoretically, when I send you an email, Philip,
Yes.
it's going straight to your cloud. Okay, so what's happening is I'm sending you an email, it's going straight to your cloud and it's going into your online platform.
Right.
Okay, whereas if you've got Outlook loaded on your computer, what's happening is I'm sending you an email, okay, it's going to the online platform, and then it's got to download onto my computer.
Okay.
Okay.
Onto your computer.
Well, yes, onto my Outlook program.
Okay.
Okay, makes sense.
Right.
So that's probably why you don't have a send and receive button, because it probably automatically just arrived. Okay.
I'm sorry, can I interrupt? I'm not on Outlook, so can I just ask this lady here? Sorry, not to interrupt. I was
It's
on-
really hot in front of that screen, I must tell you.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I taught everybody in the first lesson, you've got this toolbar over
Yes,
here,
yes.
and just type out. There you go. And then just go.
I never know. No. So it will come little.
It will come now, yeah. So it's not.
Sorry to be so.
No, please. Please stop saying sorry. What are you? Good grief.
Tracey.
Just now you're going to apologize for breathing.
How can,
Only say sorry when you mean it.
how can grief be good?
Insert the email address. Okay. Do you have a Gmail account? Do you want to type in your Gmail? Do you know the password? Okay. Let's have a look.
Can you do Ernest? Ernest is not on Outlook.
And Ernest is not on the Outlook. Let's have a look. No, because Ernest is on Word.
My word. I did think word earlier.
Okay, this one wants you to add an account. Can we add accounts onto these computers?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, what, you've got a Gmail account? What's your email address?
JGPS.
Do you know the password?
JGPS@iAfrica.com.
Okay, if we don't know the password, then we can't load that on here.
Maybe it's familiar.
Yeah, the exchange. That's fine, but we need a password if we're going to load a proper email address on here. But what we can do,
Yes.
okay. Here's an exercise. We can create a Gmail account. Does everybody know how to create a Gmail account? Okay. Super simple. Okay, so I'm going to add, okay, and I'm going to continue with our other thing, and I'm going to go into Gmail. And it says, do you want to create an account? So I can create an account for personal or business use. Okay, so Ernest, I'm going to create you a little Gmail account. Okay, Ernest, you're going to be ernestbbc@gmail.com.
Yes, JGPS@iAfrica.com. I'm on here.
It's going to ask you for a password. If you haven't got the password, then you can't do
No, but
anything.
it said if I know it, it will look for my settings.
It will look for your settings, but then it's going to ask you for a password.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't got it to
Okay, so we're going to go next. Alright. You entered your name incorrectly. Oh. I'm not reading. What is your surname? Ernest?
So,
What is your surname?
Levitas, Levitas.
Okay. I'm just going to say you were born in March 12th. 1950 what?
Sorry? You want my ID number?
No, it's just asking you your date of birth.
81,
I'm just
81,
going to put 97.
8109.
Okay, so it's giving me
16.
options. See, it's giving me options of what Gmail accounts I could give you.
Okay.
Okay. But I want to create my own. Because I wanted to say Ernest BBC at gmail.com.
Okay. But you're not going to get into my Liechtenstein account through this?
No, I'm not. That username's been taken. How rude. Okay. What's your favorite number besides 69?
When we learn, I'll tell you what a 70 is.
Okay.
You know what a 69, I'll tell you what a 70 is. 18.
18. Okay. We're just going to create a password for you. Okay, so now you have, okay,
Have you created a new one for me?
I have.
I'm going to write it down.
Okay, my phone number's been used too many times. Give me your number. My number.
You need it?
Yep.
083
Yep.
267 1855.
It's given you, it's sent you a verification. Have you got your phone on you?
So?
Have you got your phone on you?
Mm.
It sent you a code. It's G dash something something.
Okay, do you want to know what the numbers are?
Please?
G-326738. I better write all this down. Or have you got it there?
It's fine. Yeah, I've got it. This is just for example purposes, so don't stress too
Okay.
much. Okay, voila, we've got a brand new email account. Okay, that's how quick it is to create an email account. Okay, so now let's have a look at possibly taking it in. So if I go into my inbox, I should have a Google welcoming me to Gmail.
Welcome to Google.
Correct. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go and add this into my Outlook. Okay? So I want to add an account. Okay, and you can also add it on there, Ernest, because it's asking you for an account.
Let's add that.
I'm gonna, yeah. So we're gonna put in here Ernest BBC 18 at
Okay, what's that?
gmail.com.
Ernest BBC at Ernest
BBC 18 at Gmail.
All lowercase.
Correct. But it doesn't really matter anymore, guys, as well, in terms of uppercase, lowercase with emails. Okay, you can type a email in complete uppercase, it will still find it. Okay, it used to be case sensitive, no longer the case. No longer,
Gmail.com.
yes. Okay, my account's successfully added there. So you see there, I've got Ernest 18, BBC 18 at gmail.com in my in my Outlook. Okay, so that's how simple it is to put something into Outlook. Did you get it?
Think so.
Yeah. Fantastic. Okay, so way over here.
Just run through the steps there again, please. When you go
Google account. Which steps are those? To get it into your...
Yeah, so. Well,
Too easy to do it. What can I do with this without you? What can I do with it?
Learn.
I can't contact you or anyone else.
No, this is not
That's good.
Facebook.
Okay, because that's going to go, that would have to go to Inweb or whatever.
Well, no, because Gmail is like Inweb.
Okay.
It's free accounts, free email accounts. Okay,
So what do I need Inweb for?
you don't. Not anymore.
How do I wean myself off it and just say use this really one?
It's quite difficult to change your email address.
A million people have got mine.
Exactly. So that's where it becomes a little bit sticky. So, I'm going to load it now.
With capital, but as you said, it doesn't matter.
No, we're just using it for example purposes.
Okay.
There's a lot of things that we used to have. We used to have to have. We used to have an NWeb account. We used to have a 𝐂𝐫𝐸 account.
none of those applicable.
No, you see, that's how the companies used to tie us in. Okay, we used to have an NWeb account or an iAfrica account because that was our service provider. Okay, so they would tie us in by saying, okay, join us and we'll give you a free email account. Okay, 10 years later, you can't get rid of that account. Why? Because everybody has that email address. So you can never cancel iAfrica, you can never cancel NWeb because they will take your email address away.
But if you change your, you can, because if you take my email, or call it XML, because that's not private.
AXA.
Yeah.
So you're an AXA
No
client.
problem. But then, if I go and say, Philip.Nachemollerts@fullcore.online, I just notify all my contacts that I've changed my email, and then.
Sure, but the thing is that you're going to be notifying your bank that your email address has changed, and that goes to an automated system.
They can change it as well. They don't want to. That's it.
No, because you have to actually go into the bank to change it.
No, no.
Trust me. Because I used to have a 𝐂𝐫𝐸. Obviously, we'll just use Telkom. Okay, I had a 𝐂𝐫𝐸, and I decided to cancel it. I promise you, to this day, people are still trying to send emails to that account, and I probably changed it 15 years ago. Okay, because little things come up. You know that you, like years ago, you did something, and you had. So an example is when I signed up for Mr. Delivery. Okay, I signed up with the 𝐂𝐫𝐸.com account. I had a problem with one of my deliveries the other day, and it said it's going to send me a mail. And I went and looked at what my email address was, and it was still the 𝐂𝐫𝐸 account. Okay.
I have a friend who's got a Telkom. They hadn't Telkom SA account, and he's used close to Telkom.
Correct, and then they take your email address away. They're very clever. They were very clever in those days. Now there's so many free apps that you can get a Yahoo account, you can get a Gmail account, you can get pretty much any type of account. But by signing up with them, what you're saying to them is that they can send you information. Okay? They are able to have a look at your histories and all of that kind of thing. Which is not a huge train smash. It's creating our AI. Okay? ChatGPT, for an example. Okay.
If I wanted to use,
Just go back to that screen and take us through the steps to how you got there.
To how I loaded him onto
Yeah.
my Outlook. Okay. Alright, so I went File. Okay,
And file in Outlook.
correct. And I went to add an account. But you have to have your password. Okay. Then you type in the account that you want to add. And you click connect. And it will automatically go into your Outlook.
if a person wanted to create this thing and wean themselves off, say, MWeb, use that, for instance, I could use that and keep my original email address open, and every month or every week send to all that so-and-so is my new email address, and they can send it to whatever they like.
What you can also do is you can have an auto response. Okay? So in other words, have you ever got those, have you ever, on Discovery, from Discovery, and you send them a claim and you automatically get a message saying,
How do you do that?
I'll get there.
Okay.
Alright, you automatically get a message saying, we received your claim but you can't reply to that email address.
Yes.
You can do the same with your accounts here, okay? Is you can actually put a auto response on it. So for example, if you're going on holiday and you're out of the office and that kind of stuff, you can add an auto response onto it. So if you're weaning
Giving
it,
them a new
yes, so you can wean off one account and go into another account that way.
non-response email. Don't respond.
Well, for a
That's-
while, yeah.
No, that's a no reply.
Yeah, and also then while you're weaning yourself off, you have a rule on your MWeb or whatever account that pushes the email to your Gmail account. Okay, so you will still automatically get it until you're completely weaned off.
Okay, I can do that.
Yes.
It will come through automatically.
Yes.
But then they'll use the old, as you say,
They
the
won't
old
use it.
address for
Yeah,
you.
and then you'll just have to go. For example, if you're doing it to the bank, they generally want you to go face to face and change your email address and that kind of stuff. Okay, so it does become a bit of a schlep, but eventually it kind of writes itself. Okay, so let's have a look at Ernest's account here. Okay, so this is Ernest's account in Outlook. All right, he has an inbox. All right, he has an outbox. Now the outbox is basically when I'm sending an email, it sits in the outbox until it's sent. Alright, he has sync issues, alright, and he has search folders. Now these little arrows that you see, like where you've got Tracey Bosch 5 Gmail, there's a little down arrow at the bottom of it. Okay, if I click that, it's actually going to minimize everything, but because it's got an arrow next to it, that tells me that it has more folders within that email address. Yes? Okay. So, for example, over here there's a Gmail folder with an arrow next to it. So I'm going to click on it, and there's my sent mails. Okay. Aha! Okay. So Ernest, we sent a test mail, okay, it automatically sent to you, alright, and you've got 3 mails in your inbox. You've got a Google alert, you've got the Microsoft Outlook that you've actually loaded onto the computer, and obviously a community thing. Okay, right, so now I want to have a folder in my inbox for everything that I do, alright. So what I do is I want to create folders, like we were supposed to do folders within our thing, and get organized, okay? So like for example, I have personal, and then I have my company, and then I have subfolders underneath that. So under personal, I've got my personal bank, I've got rates and taxes, I've got all of that kind of stuff. So I've got folders for all of those under personal. And then under my business, I've got suppliers, I've got customers, I've got 𝐒𝐫𝐨𝐼𝐶, I've got, you know, all the various clients that I work for. Or I've got a folder that says clients, and then I've got another subfolder. So I'll just show you quickly. All right, so we're just going to go into my Tracey, don't freak out. Okay. So if you have a look at my inbox, wait, actually it's maybe a better idea if I do this one. Okay. So this is one of the companies that I freelance for. Okay. So under this folder, if I open it up, I've got inbox, I've got drafts, I've got sent items, I've got deleted items, I've got archived items, and I've got conversational history, and I've got junk mail, and I've got artbox. Okay. Now because there's an arrow here at my inbox, it means that I've got more folders. So let's go into that. So I've got an Amanda 𝐒𝐿𝐵𝐼𝐼 folder, I've got a happiness folder, I've got learner folders, I've got a McAfee anti-spam folder, and I've got scans folder. Now this little arrow here tells me that I actually have more folders under learners. So now I'm going to drop that down, and I've got a list of every single one of my learners. Okay, so then I've got, when I get an email from them, it automatically goes to their folder and will highlight their folder. Okay, does that make sense? So let's just go and create some folders under Ernest, or you guys, do you all know how to create a folder?
No.
No. Okay. So if I'm in my inbox over here, okay, I'm going to right click. Why am I right clicking? Why am I right clicking? I taught you about the right click. Come on guys.
Contents of the menu.
Yes, I want more options.
Yes.
Okay. Right click, give me more options. Left click, go there. Okay. So then it says to me here, I can create a new folder. So I'm going to click on new folder, and I'm going to call this folder, what would you like to call your folder, Ernest?
Intimate.
Huh?
Intimate.
Intimate. Because you're going to have a folder for intimate emails that come in. Okay.
You know, it's leap year, right? I don't know where to put them all the.
Did I spell it right?
I just call it, sorter.
Paul.
How do you spell porn? P-A-W-N.
S-O-R-T-E-R.
Is it right? Is intimate spelled right?
I can't even see that.
I-N-T-E-R-M-I-T.
No.
Okay, spell it.
Intimate meaning
I-N-T-I.
below the belt. Intimate. I-T-I-M-A-T-E.
M-A-T-E. Okay, cool. I'm remedial, guys. I use spell check a lot. So I love computers because they think for me. Okay. Alright, so now we've got an intimate folder over here. Okay. Now I'm also going to create another folder for Google. So any Google emails that come in, I'm going to put in that folder. Okay. And then under Google, I'm going to put in a folder that says recovery mails. Okay. And then I might also want another folder under there saying important information. Okay. So now I've got, once again, I've got a little arrow there by Google. If I drop it down, I then have mails or folders under those folders. Okay. If I go to my inbox, I can then drag my email into those folders and keep my inbox nice and clean. Okay. So then I'm going to put that into Outlook. So that's important information. Google I'm going to drop in there. and I don't know if I really want that. So I'm just going to actually trash that. So I can go that little dustbin over there and I can delete it. Okay. So now let's go and have a look at that trash. Once again, if there's stuff in your trash, Susan, it's taking space on your C drive. Okay. So once again, clean it out.
What's the C? What's the C for?
C drive is your memory inside your computer. Okay. So you can when your C drive starts getting full, your computer becomes slower.
So you've got to delete.
Delete things that you don't want, yes. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to delete it, and it's going to say to me, do you want to permanently delete this email? And I'm going to go, yes.
How am I going to find that on when I get to my office?
Do you have any desk or anything on your computer?
Internet.
Any desk?
Any desk I've got, definitely.
You have?
Yes.
Okay,
I've seen it on my screen.
So you're welcome to give me a call, and then what I can do is I can log in with you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alright. So my sent items are here. I don't need to keep my sent items. Alright. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But depends on how pedantic you are. What's nice about Outlook these days is it actually keeps every single email from that person with that subject together. It can be quite annoying as well because you sometimes can't find the message. Have you noticed that? And you're trying to find that particular attachment, but it's all attached to that one email. It drives me insane. They think it's a lovely little add-on here. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to be in Ernest's email, okay, and we're going to go and create a new email. So a new email in Outlook, all right, will generally look like that. So we're going to send an email to me, okay, and I can CC Tracey over there. So I want Ernest to know that I am CCing her, okay, so that they're both aware of the fact that they are they're getting an email. But now I want to send a message I want to CC 𝐂𝐫𝐨𝐼, for example, all right, but I don't want Tracey to know that I'm CCing 𝐂𝐫𝐶, because if Tracey knows that I'm going over her head and CCing 𝐂𝐫𝐶 on stuff, there's going to be, oh, hello! Oh my gosh, I got quiet very quick. Okay, because then Tracey's going to think that I'm trying to get her into trouble and all sorts of things. So there's a little button here called blind copy. BCC. Not BBC, BCC. Okay.
Copy. What's the second C for?
Blind. Carbon copy. You're right. Yes. Okay. So blind carbon copy. So in other words, I can send emails to a certain person, and I don't want them to know that I'm actually letting the boss in the loop on this. So I blind copy the boss.
You devious, eh?
I know, right?
There is a way to check who's not in the BCC though, because they can see that they're BCCs.
No, there isn't.
I sent somebody last year an email, and I put 10 BCCs and they found out who the BCCs were by going into it.
Oh, that's interesting, because I've never known that, because I've never been able to.
And then I got a phone call. Why did you BCC all these people?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to BCC my other account. Okay. All right. Always give it a subject.
RE.
Okay.
RE.
Well, it doesn't have to have an RE, because if you.
Or FWD.
Yeah. Well, those come up automatically if you are responding. If you reply, it will say RE. And if you forward. And if you're forwarding something, it will say FWD. Okay. But in your initial email, why is it important to give a subject?
So that people know what's going on.
Yes.
On subject.
Names the topic.
It names the topic.
Why is it, are you asking why is it important?
Why is it important?
Because sometimes it doesn't go without if you
No,
try
no,
to send
no.
the email,
It will.
it says, must we send this without a subject?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can send
you
it.
can do
You
it.
can do it. But you know what? Susan was saying that sometimes she's searching for specific words, okay, on email about a specific subject. So the more specific you are in your subject, all right, it not only assists you in finding your email that you sent, all right, it also will advise the person you're sending the mail to about what this email is about. Okay, so we're going to do Outlook training. Okay, I lost my word. Okay, now I'm sure you guys have seen signatures on emails. Do you know how to create those signatures? No.
No.
Okay, it's actually really simple. Okay.
I need to know that, because the way I do it, if they ask for my signature, I print it out, I then sign, and I then scan it and send it back to them.
Ernest, you are so adorable. I'm not talking about a physical signature, I'm talking about an email signature.
Oh, I see.
So when Tracey sends you an email, there's an email
You're
signature
talking
with
about
the
when Paul fell off the bus.
100%.
Now, they're not related to.
Now it's called an email signature. So every email that you send will have the signature on it, which gives them maybe your cell phone number or your company logo or whatever it is that you want to do. Okay.
Okay, but why doesn't a person like you invent a way of, instead of doing it my laborious way, when they want my signature on a document?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's, without me printing it out and signing it and then scanning it and sending it back, somebody like you could do that and patent it and making yourself
PDF already have
$100.
it.
It's already in PDF.
Sorry?
There's a program called PDF
Yes.
where you can have your signature
Okay.
also full.
I've seen PDF, but how do you do that? So
It's a whole new lesson, Ernest.
Okay, so I must do like, come here every week for about 10 years.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Okay, I'm not that off, I'll come here for 9 years.
Okay, cool. Okay,
Okay.
so have a look here. At the top here, there's a little box under your messages called signature.
Oh,
I don't know if you've got it on.
this thing hasn't got it because of the settings. I don't know, I've never used this thing before. It's still in testing mode. Is that the signature? Okay. Signature, okay.
Okay,
Thank
but
you.
you have to set it up first.
So can I just ask something quickly about that search? I thought when you put in search, you're searching for letters in the, or words in the email address.
It searches for it everywhere. Okay, so it searches your subject line, it searches your email address, it searches content within your emails. Okay, so you just actually have to remember one word that you actually put in that email, and you'll generally be able to find it. Okay, so we're going to go and create a little signature, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, let's do that. So we're going to click signatures over here. So I've got a signature already, all right? And it's got a logo and all of that kind of stuff. So at the bottom of every single email that I send on behalf of this company that I work for, this appears. Okay, but what we actually want to do is we want to create a new one. So what do I want to call it? I'm going to call it, okay. So that when I put it in the signature, I can actually choose which signature I want to put in. Okay, because I have different business concerns and things like that. So, Ernest, what we're going to do here is we're going to give you a signature. Spell your surname again for me.
Give it to 𝐿𝐸𝐵𝐼TAS.
RTAS. Okay, and your cell number 083
267
267
1855.
1855. And your company name?
John Hess, Manufacturers Representative.
JOHN.
Yes, and then HESS,
HESS.
Manufacturers Representatives.
Okay. So now I think we want that company name in a nicer font. So let's go and change the font.
Bigger.
Yeah,
Nice.
it must be much bigger, but we wanted it a nice, swirly. I don't think that's going to be very good. Let's just do that, okay. And we're going to make it 18. Okay.
That's very good.
Okay, so that's going to be your email signature, all right? And then it says to me,
Shouldn't it be on top of my name and the
you think so?
I think so.
Okay, fabulous. So
I'm
what
not-
we're going to do is
I'm
we're
not
going to take it,
dedicated.
remember, highlight it, grab it,
Drag it on top.
yeah, or we're going to cut it out of here, put it underneath, like I showed you the other day, Control V, you like it like that? Okay, then you could also go and put your, a picture in, your company logo, if you wanted to, okay? Now it says to me, when would you like this signature to be defaulted? Okay, so I want it to be every time I create a new message from Ernest. Okay,
You want it to be defaulted.
defaulted. So in other words, it will automatically happen every time I start a new message.
Okay.
Okay. Then it says to you, if you are then replying and forwarding, do you want that signature on every time? No. Okay. A lot of companies insist on it because of brand awareness. But I don't want it when I reply to clients and stuff like that over and over again. And I go, okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just insert signature. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to create a new email. And why is my signature not there?
Please.
Bless you. It's not letting me do it, which is irritating. Because I'm supposed to be the whiz kid here. Oh, that's why. I created it on the wrong profile. There we go. There's your signature in. Okay.
So, and that'll happen
So now-
not every time.
When I create a new email, when I go new email,
Yeah.
your signature will be in automatically. then all you have to end your emails off on is kind regards or yours sincerely or whatever it is.
So you don't
Right now.
actually have to script it. It just goes through.
What?
Pay now,
Yes.
like I told you, I selected hearing.
Okay.
So how do you add the logo?
Okay, so if I'm going to go back into signatures over here. Okay, I'm going to be on my signature. Okay, and I'm going to go and find my company logo, which will obviously be saved somewhere on my computer. But let's just see what pictures I've got here. Nothing super exciting. And let me go put my company logo in, for example. Okay, so I've just put my company logo in there, for example. Okay.
Is that yours?
Yes.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
I expected no less.
Okay.
But how can you tell it's the right size? It's not tiny.
Well, I can make it smaller or bigger in this block over here.
So you just have to go onto an email just to check whether it's.
Correct. Okay.
So it's like great attitude or gratitude.
Correct. It's actually greatness, attitude, and gratitude. Now, I'm going to open up a new email over here.
Have you registered that as a trademark?
No.
You should. You can.
I just love the world and believe in all the good in people and stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, if somebody wants to steal my stuff, I'm really proud that I've made somebody else's day and, you know, well, it's not really the...
That's theft.
I get it's theft. But
It's
you know
theft.
what?
They're stealing your IP. It's your property, your intellectual property.
You know what, Ernest, it's just so easy these days to, I don't know why, that's what works. Because once again, I'm not in the right place. You know what, it's so easy to use other people's stuff these days. It really is. I mean, I showed you guys last week what I stole off the 𝐒𝐫𝐲𝐝 website for us to use in Word. I can use their logo anywhere, you know, and the patent police. Are they really looking at us? Unless 𝐒𝐫𝐲𝐝 take care of us because they see it on my page. So for me, it's really, it's not the olden days where everybody was like so there we go. There's a signature with a logo. Susan? Okay. Alright. I can also at this stage also reduce it. But it's better to have a reduced picture that you put into your everyday signature. Okay, so that's signatures. Cool. Alright, so we sent a message to Tracey, we CC'd other Tracey, and then we blind copied Leon. We put a subject, what was our subject?
Outlook training.
Outlook training. Okay, so I'm just gonna, Tracey, I'm just gonna send this to you. Okay, and would Lynn mind? Okay. Test. Message. Okay. So now I'm going to send this email out. Alright. Once again, I'm not worried about too much about the etiquette of it. I'm not saying dear Tracy, but once again, email is business related, so it should theoretically have a dear or hi or, you know, and how are you? I trust you are well. Like you're writing a letter. Okay. It's changing, guys. Technology is changing. Life is changing. You know, if you on WhatsApp Business, for example, you also, once again, just sending one-word answers. So I basically run my entire business off WhatsApp. I attach files, I send invoices, I do everything on WhatsApp. And I've got WhatsApp on my computer. Okay, so I kind of think that email is kind of redundant, except for setting up appointments. That's kind of my feeling.
Emails are last season.
I think they are going to be very much last season in the next 3 or 4 years. Do you agree with me?
And WhatsApp will be the way to go.
Yeah. I see they're trying this Telegram thing really hard again. I don't know if you've noticed. Pushing it big time. And it didn't take off. There was big rumors that WhatsApp was going to charge us to use the platform, and you had to join Telegram because it was a free platform. Everybody joined Telegram, and then everybody kind of went back to WhatsApp because we didn't get an invoice. You know what I mean? So it was like kind of safe to stay. But now, for example, there's certain companies that are only using Telegram to send out notifications. So I joined Telegram about probably a month ago, and I cannot believe how many other people are actually joining Telegram at the moment, you know, that are in my contacts. So it's quite interesting how those two platforms might be starting to compete with one another.
And there's another one,
Signature, which I've never even heard of.
Awesome.
Huh? Not. It's crazy. Okay, so we've sent that mail. Okay. So, Ernest, I want to go and see where that sent mail is. Yeah?
The email.
Alright. So what we're going to do is we're going to see where I'm in my inbox over there. Alright, so this is what your computer kind of looks like, am I correct? On your desk.
It looks like what? Sorry?
It kind of looks like this.
No.
What does it look like?
You were talking about your bar fell off the bus.
No, I'm talking about your email on your screen.
I
Does it
see.
look like that?
I thought you were talking about it.
No, we're not talking about your tower. Looks like that, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to go and look for those little arrows again. Okay? See there's an arrow. It tells me
Yeah.
that there's more folders in there. And now if I go to my sent items,
No, but I don't find sent items on my screen. New email, yes. Maybe I must send you a picture.
yeah, or else we'll log into your account. Okay, there's no sent items here. Oh, there it is. Okay. Alright, so here's my sent item. Okay. Now, for Susan particularly, okay, if I'm on my inbox, okay, I can sort my inbox. Okay, so let me go into this one, for example. I'm just going to go into this one because it's got some mail in it that we can play around with. Okay, so I've got this Gmail account that I've made, and I've joined My Family Cinema. So instead of actually giving my company email address out, I'd rather just do it on the Google email because it's an Android product and Google works with Android. Okay? So all of the emails come here.
That's what my screen looks like with those yesterday, last week, etc., etc.
Okay, great.
And to see an email that you may have sent me 3 weeks ago, I've got to scroll all the way back.
Okay, so let's just go and have a look and see if there's anything
I can't
pretty
put
strange.
your name in there and just
Okay.
click on it.
So let's go over here. Okay. There's a search bar at the top. Yes?
Okay, yes.
Okay. So I'm going to type in, okay, and see if there are any emails. Okay, no, that won't be an option. Okay, so let me try and find something else because everything's going to have Tracy on it, isn't it? But you see now what it's done is it's highlighted where Tracy is. Okay.
Now it's highlighting.
Correct. So everywhere where it finds Tracy. But let's go. Okay, I'm going to put in here. Okay, so in my subject line, Susan,
Yeah.
there's some that say here security alert.
Right.
Okay, so now what it's doing is it's bringing up every email that has those words in it. Okay, in the subject line or in the email itself. Does that make sense?
Mm.
Are you with me, Susan?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, but what I can also do is I can sort it over here. All right? So there's a little button at the top where I can sort it by date, from, to, the size, the subject, the attachments, and I can sort unread or flagged emails as well. Okay, so I just want on my screen right now any unread emails. Okay, so now all these unread emails, all right, would drive Tracy absolutely nuts. Okay, because she's got to have no emails in her Google. Okay. So now what I can do is I can go, you know what? I actually want to mark all of these as reds because if I'm coming to Alt, and if Tracy sees this inbox, she's going to flip. Okay. So I'm going to hold the shift button down and I'm going to push end. And it's going to select everything in that box. Okay. Then I'm going to right click, and why am I right clicking? Okay.
More options.
More options, okay. And I'm going to make everything unread. Ah, sorry, mark everything as red. Okay. Now obviously my filter at the top is to look for unread messages. That's why my messages have now disappeared. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all mail, and now I've got no unread messages. How cool is that? Okay. Now you can also flag messages. There's little flags over here where you can flag a message to deal with later. And then you can sort your documents by flags. Okay. But now, for example, Zoom are trying to get me back onto their system. Okay, so during lockdown, I subscribed to Zoom because I was doing training online and etc. etc. And then I went back to face-to-face training, so I didn't need to pay that 99 Rand a month or whatever it was to have the Zoom account. So they're desperately trying to get me back, so they keep sending me emails. Okay. Now, if I go down on an email like this and it's advertising, every email has to have an unsubscribed button. This is how we get rid of the spam that keeps coming to us. Because you've got onto somebody's list, okay, and they have now got your email address and they will spam you to death. Alright? So every now and again, go and unsubscribe from these people.
Yes, or delete both.
You're going to delete for the rest of your life. You want to get off their list. Okay. So I'm going to push the unsubscribe button over here. It's going to bring up whatever it is. Okay. And it says, we're really sad to see you go. I'm very happy to see you go. And you push unsubscribe. Okay, then you'll stop getting mails from these people. Alright, so that's how you can stop getting repetitive mails from like the same sort of spamming companies and things like that. Okay.
Sometimes I get a question when I want to unsubscribe. It says just click in the box that you're not a robot.
Yes, or choose 3 pictures that have got cars in them. Or it sometimes says to you, why are you unsubscribing? Give us some feedback. Okay, alright. So another nice feature is to go and filter from. Okay, so now I've got, there's an email from you, Odette. You obviously did some training. Okay, so now I've got in alphabetical order all the emails from the same person. So now what I actually want is I want that Zoom email, those Zoom emails. So I'm going to search it, okay, and because I have filtered my emails by from, they're all going to be together. Okay, now I can shift an arrow down, dun, 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 and I can delete. And that's how we clean up our inbox really quickly. Okay, alright. Are there any questions?
Each email has got to be deleted separately, is that right?
No, so I can go shift end here, and I can push the delete button, and it deletes them. Sorry, it wasn't at the top.
Alright, yeah, but then they've got to be in consecutive order.
Yes, then you've got it, them in from filter. Okay, then you're deleting, like F&B in contact. I mean, how many emails have you got from F&B in contact that you don't really want? So sort it by from, highlight your ones you want to delete and delete them as a batch. Okay, was today useful?
Yes.
Amazing.
Did you get anything out of it?
The signature stuff is on.
Okay, alright, perfect. What else were you sort of,
So the big thing for me was is how to create the rules so when it comes into the inbox and it goes into a place where I can see it when I need to see that as opposed to the first thing up on my list.
okay, so I'm not sure how it works online, but I can show you on Outlook if you want.
No, it's okay.
I'm happy
I
to
think
show
the
you
systems
one.
are like quite different. So
Yeah.
You can look at it quickly.
Okay, so let's have a look.
Because I think it'd probably be useful in general.
Okay, so now I want to create a rule. Susan, I want to create a rule. Okay, and I have no idea where the button for rules is on this thing. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go and search for it.
Google.
No, at the top
Search
there's a
bar.
search bar, remember?
Yeah.
I'm going to go and type in rules. Okay, now you'll see there in the middle. Here is the rules icon actually. Okay, so you don't have to go through your whole toolbar to find certain things. You can just type it in, attach a signature, it will bring you that button. Okay, so now the rules are, okay, and it says always move messages from Google or move messages to Tracey or create a rule. I'm going to create a rule. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So it says, when I get my email, okay, from who do I want to create this rule from? So I want to create everything that has the word security alert, okay, sent to that email address, all right, and I want to move it into a folder. So I'm going to go and select my security alert folder that I created. Was it in earnest for myself? Did I create a security? I did, hey.
Yeah, I think it's in.
Okay. Okay, let's just say we're going to move everything into important information. Okay, and I go, okay, all right, so what I've done is I've said everything that contains the word security alert, all right, that's sent to Tracey Bosch 5 at Gmail, I want you to automatically send it into a folder. Alright, so what we can say here as well is any email that says FNB in contact, I want you to send it to an FNB folder. So it never has to be in your inbox. Okay? So with this I'm going to go, okay, and then it says, this rule has been created. Do you want to run it now? Okay. Yes, I want to run it now. So I'm going to run it, and it's going to take any email that says security alert, and it's going to move it into my important folder. Does that make sense? Okay. And then you can create rules on top of rules on top of rules on top of rules. All right. So if you have, also don't let Tracey see this. Yeah. Tracey, look at those flowers over there.
I'm watching what you're doing.
Okay. Okay, just doing the rule quickly. So just moving those few emails, and now every time I get the email from them, I don't have to worry about it. Okay. So you know how 𝐒𝐫𝐨𝐼𝐝 spams us, hey? So I've got a rule. Any 𝐒𝐫𝐴 emails go into an 𝐒𝐫𝐴 folder. So when I've got time, I go and look at the folder.
We've improved.
However,
But you put all that's fine, that's great, it's in a folder. But then you forget to look at it.
correct. Absolutely. Then what you've got to do is you've got to go to your Outlook and schedule an appointment to go and look at your 𝐒𝐫𝐴 folder. But most of our emails come on our phones. So before it's even hit Outlook, we've had a look at it on our phones. And if it's important to us, we'll deal with it. Okay. Because that's how we all operate, am I correct? You don't? Okay. Okay.
The other way that I do the rules is I click on the email, then I go to the thing and it says the picture highlights and all of that. So I create the picture. I've got one that's got a full profile, and I go back to the email, right click, select rules, and I fill in all that detail, and you see it goes across.
Yeah. So if you were changing your email address, Ernest, you would create a rule. Ernest, hi. If you were changing your email address, you would create a rule to say any email that comes into my mWeb account, for example, automatically send it to my Gmail. Okay. All right. So, yes.
Please can I ask, Gmail, is that short for Google Mail?
Google Mail, yes.
Okay, because that is different. I put an email password. It doesn't say Google password, Google email password, Gmail. It says email. What is your email password? Is
Yes.
that the same as Google?
Correct.
It's a different way of saying the same thing.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so it's strictly speaking, it should say Google email.
Yes.
And it
But
doesn't.
the youngsters have created this stuff.
Okay, so
Okay.
then they just leave out
Yeah,
Google.
these youngsters, they don't like using too many words.
But they like the passwords.
They love the passwords. Okay. So I'm just going to show you here
Did
quickly.
you say something derogatory about us?
No.
You said something about
It's the
these
young ones.
youngsters.
Yes, it's derogatory towards you, absolutely, Ernest. Okay, so have a look at my inbox over here. Alright. So I've got folders upon folders upon folders. But if I go into the Bosch folder, okay, and I go into the Tracey folder, I've got a finance folder with all the F&B accounts and all of that kind of stuff. I've got discovery claims accounts. And within that, I've got tax certificates. Within the finance, I've got different sort of things that I would need to pay. But you'll see here, for example, F&B. Every time I use my bank card, I get an email. It drives me insane, okay, because I don't like all of that in my inbox. So I put it in there in case I have a query. Okay, I don't need to get those emails all the time. Okay, and NetBank as well. All right. So you have to kind of sit and do a mind map, guys. How do I want to set this up? Set it up correctly from the start. All right. When you're creating your folders within your file explorer, set it up logically for yourself. No one else needs to know how it works. You need to know how it works. How are you going to find things? But that search bar at the top, of every single Microsoft thing is the most valuable button you will have to find anything. Okay. Are there any questions? Because I'm run out of time. Okay.
No questions.
So, say
Let's-
for example, so can I say please, so if it's an FNB document, do you put it under banking, FNB, how do you do it? Is it best to just, you know,
I throw everything into FNB that's related to FNB.
okay.
I don't bother in saying these are FNB statements or these are FNB in contact. I can create rules for all of that.
No.
But because I could just go to my FNB account and go, I'm searching for this, and it'll bring up things.
Because I don't know how to label it. Should it be banking? Should it be, you know, but it's
What
best to
makes
keep
it-
tighter.
Remember when we did training together, I spoke to you about the tickler boxes or the filing cabinets. Okay, so you've got a filing cabinet and you've got an ODET folder, okay, personal, all right. What kind of subfolders would you have in there?
Yes, I remember that.
Okay, so it's exactly, if you're thinking about opening up a drawer, okay, of files, and you have a general folder for ODET, okay, what kind of stuff would you put in there?
Yeah.
Okay, and once again,
So
it's
accounts to pay and
correct. So no one's going to judge you by what you label your folders. As long as you can find your folders, that's what's important. Okay. So there's you can call it tikpuchunpul if you want to. As long as you know what it means to you. Okay.
So what you're trying to tell us
Well, I mean,
is that the legal arts file has got a limited future.
Very much so.
Yeah, but this is for the,
Thank
that means
God.
two subfolders, all subfolders of the
Yeah. Electronic is definitely the way to go. Pardon?
That gives you control. I mean, the credit
I will.
card-
I'm gonna create a
credit card, so-
thing. Okay. All right. So at the end of these four lessons, I'm going to
Give us a test.
Yes.
no, but what I'd like to do is actually give you guys little workbooks that you can maybe work through. And should you get stuck or whatever, then maybe you can, reach out for some support. But
Please.
using a computer is practice. It's practice, practice, practice. The more you use it, the more comfortable you become with it, the easier it is to use it.
Right.
Okay.